I think Sandwich has got this great mix of all the cultures that were here. Sandwich, as many people know, there's Huron line. This was the home to the mission, to the Hurons, set up by the then Jesuits. I think, and then became Basilicans. Hi, I'm D.A. Lockhart. I'm a poet and writer and publisher who lives here in the city of Windsor. Marty Gervais actually contacted me to work with the project. And I was really fortunate to land looking at Sandwich because I have some family history here. My dad's adoptive grandfather was a cop here in Sandwich back in the day. When it comes to my dad's adoptive dad, the Irish side, there's sort of a great personal interest in trying to discover what that means, because I can easily, in terms of my family, figuring out the native side, the Delaware side, was pretty easy. Clearly I majored in it. But coming to explore what life was like in Sandwich, I began to get a bit of an idea of what he's, sort of what he went through on a daily level, and what sort of brought him to this area, because he immigrated to Canada to come here. It's a safe place, and I think that's what one of its greatest defining factors is that this is a place where you come to and you can be safe, and you can look across the river and you can say, I'm probably not going to be so safe over there. It's a sort of welcoming place. It's almost the doorstep for Southern Ontario, Southwestern Ontario. I've already been doing a lot of writing in terms of looking at the history of Windsor. I tend to do that wherever I sort of focus my projects. I've done a lot of looking at the sort of historic key figures around the area, and a lot of the things that we don't know about. Like, for example, there's a creek that used to flow through this area, and it was named for one of the Huron. They call her a princess in the historical books, but that disappeared, and there's a big interest in that for me, especially metaphorically as a poet, because the Hurons were eventually removed from this area. A lot of my work in general, and this project as well, will sort of help to reinvigorate knowledge of Indigenous peoples in this region. I'll say, growing up as an urban Delaware or Lenape citizen, it was tough to really wrap your head around what is it to be an Indian and living in this area. And I think I want to sort of replace a voice historically for our experiences here. This was actually a sort of a really fertile mixing ground between the European cultures and the Hurons that lived on this side of the river, the Potawatomis on the other. And of course, the Ottawas were down by contemporary Ottawa Street now. So this was a fascinating place in terms of our history. A lot of history here with the War of 1812, and a lot of the surveying of the area in terms of laying it out for the European settlement. So right now I'm looking at a series of sonnets. They're songs and they're celebrations of places. I've done a lot of looking at the sort of historic key figures around the area, and a lot of the things that we don't know about. We're looking towards getting most of the drafts and revisions done of the poems for December.